Today we are reviewing fifth episode of Stranger Things. This episode I called 11 as a traitor, because in these episodes we have couple of things, but the main issue is that boys were talking with their science teacher, and he explained them that because the main issue is the upside down. Boys didn't believe that such a thing as upside down exists, but in fourth episode, 11 proved that Will is somewhere, and this somewhere, according to her, is the upside down, so the alternative dimension of our world. And because boys like playing D&D, there is a concept of shadow veil in Dungeons and Dragons, and this is like an upside down. So right now they want to, in a way, go there to find Will and rescue him. Of course, they don't know what we know from later episodes, that 11 is aware of this upside down and that she opened a portal from our world to the upside down, and of course they don't know about it, so they think that she will help them to go to this gate, let's say. But of course she's pretending that she doesn't know where this gate really is. But boys are trying to use magnets to find it, because it will in a way help them to find it because of how magnets work. But 11 destroyed their plans. She used her powers to let's say make sure that they will not find this specific gate, and the episode is finishing of Lucas accusing her of being a traitor. He was accusing her of many things, of course, but right now he believes that she has these superpowers and that Will really lives. But he accused her of being, let's say, a spy, a traitor, someone who is foul with its behavior, and boys are arguing about it, especially Lucas with Mike, and 11 is throwing with her powers Lucas down and escaping the boys. So the episode is well, let's say is unexpected, because we thought that after the fourth episode everything will be okay, and of course when we are watching it chronologically we are not sure why 11 didn't want to tell them where the gate is, because she's pretending that she doesn't know where this gate is or was. But we know from the later episodes that she opened the portal because Dr. Bremer wanted to communicate with the Demogorgon. He sent her or her mind to this upside down, and because of this encounter with Demogorgon, with fear and with dread, 11 was so shocked that she opened this gate, and we know from later seasons that this gate will only be closed at the end of second season. But the story, of course, is interesting, that most of the Hawkins dwellers believe that Will is dead. There is an official funeral for him, but of course teenagers, and especially Nancy and Jonathan, suspect that something or someone kidnapped Will, and they are for the hunt specifically for the Demogorgon. So they want to catch it and to try to destroy it. And we here see this let's say friendship between Nancy and Jonathan starting up, and we will have this issue between, of course, Jonathan and Steve. So these two guys will be trying to win the favor of Nancy. But I would say that this looking for Demogorgon, because in Hawkins people are missing. So this is a really interesting part that I wasn't aware earlier when I have been watching it, that people are being kidnapped or are missing, and so somewhere is in the woods, and policemen and cannot find it, don't know who this thing is or what it is. And of course we have a plot with Hopper, who successfully infiltrate the Hawkins laboratory, but he was of course captured even though he spotted the gate, and he also was in the room when Eleven was held because he's still looking for Mike, for Will. He's not aware that there is another kid being called Eleven, but he found her room in this laboratory when she was later being there. But of course they caught him. They transported him to his cabin. Although I'm not sure if it was so secretive, they should not, for example, imprison him somewhere, and not just to release him, because of course after he awoken from the sleep, he found that they put a plug in his house to listen what he is doing. And of course he contacted Joyce, the mother of Will, that she was right all along, that something is afoul here, because he found that the body was fake. He infiltrated also the let's say the coroner office, and he was sure then that something is really disturbing in Hawkins, that in this laboratory they try to cover something up, and he is not sure what it is. So from the perspective of watching the first season and fifth episode, we see that the story of first season is really interesting, really mysterious, and we see why Stranger Things is such a phenomenon, because right now we also have many, maybe not many, but few comics about Stranger Things world. We have even novels and books, and some of them are quite good. And of course we have games in Stranger World universe, and we have an animation movie. I'm really fond to know what this animation movie is about, but unfortunately it is between ending of season second season and beginning of third season. So I'm right now reviewing first and second season just to watch it and to tell you about this specific new animation movie in Stranger Things world. Of course, there is a very famous and I think important comic from the other side or something like that, which is about Will and what he was doing in the Upside Down. So I think if you want chronologically to see what was happening in Hawkins and the Upside Down, you should watch the first season, but after that you should buy this specific comic and read it. I'm planning to buy some of them because they are really in a very interesting condition. I try I cannot show you properly when I want to put them, but I want to put them even in this. You will not see them because they will be almost where the Liara Sony poster is. But I want to buy these comics because they are really in a good hardcover, black and with red stripes of Stranger Things title. Very climactic comics. I'm not sure if they are good or bad, but the publishing is really very, very, very good. So the fifth season, the fifth episode is showing us many different plots, and some of them will accuse of Stranger Things of having too many subplots and sub characters. But from my perspective, it's not an issue. It's not an issue, even though I think that the Hopper subplot and of course the 11 subplot is the most interesting. And from the perspective of a person who have watched all seasons except fifth, I see that this story has a potential, because this animation movie about our kids is in this story with Eleven, with Mike, with Lucas, and of course with Maxine, very important character added in second season with quite famous actress Sadie Singh. So I think we should also add that actors are playing really well in this episode and in this season, even though many of them are, we would call them secondary or even tertiary actors. They play, even for example, the policemen who are deputies of Jim Hopper. They play their roles really well. And the climate of the 80s of this town Hawkins is, it's really good that they are really because they are directing in Georgia, I think, and you can see that there is very small amount of special effects if we consider the architecture, the houses, the environment. You see that this is a true natural environment of, in this case, Georgia state in the United States. So it really adds up to the believability of the story and the believability of characters, and it's really good. So I advise you to, even if you watched first season, watch it again and try to admire these different things about it. For example, not many computer effects. Oh, and of course, let me know in the comments what do you think about this specific fifth episode.